Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Source Snack Break. I'm joined this week with Stephen and Cindy from Rigidized Metals. Welcome.
Hello,
Good to
everyone.
have you.
Thank you.
Perfect. And for those of you who are just joining and haven't been to a snack break before, just a heads up, you have been muted automatically, but you can join in on the conversation. And actually, you are encouraged to let us know what you think, or if you have any questions by jumping in the chat, which you'll see on the right-hand side. You can let everybody know where you're tuning in from. I'm lucky enough to be in the beautiful city of Honolulu. We are opening up a library location here. So with the team, that's where I'm tuning in from. And what about you, Stephen and Cindy? Where are you calling in from today?
I'm actually at NeoCon this week, so I'm at a little booth in the corner right now. I've been here since Monday, so I'll be leaving tomorrow. But I live in Southern California, so I live in the Orange County area. So go ahead, Cindy.
And I live in the Mile High city of Denver, Colorado. And between Stephen and I, we cover pretty much the whole country as far as all of you designers go. So I'm glad we get to meet some of you today.
Yes, perfect. Well, with that, I will let you guys get into it. And again, everybody who's tuning in, if you have questions along the way, please put them in and we'll either answer them kind of as we go along, or we'll save some time for Q&A at the end. Also, if you need to step away or you want to refer to this presentation later, pass it on to a friend, you will get a recording of it automatically after it wraps up. So you can watch it or share that around. So with that, I'll turn it over to you all to get us started today.
All righty, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. So just a quick little background about Rigidized Metals. We were founded in 1940. We're based out of Buffalo, New York, where we're creating all of our deep textures and micro textures there. This is also where all our fabrication is done. Overall view of a deep texture is a fantastic solution when you're looking for something that's going to be high trafficked areas. We have very unique textures here. Here are a couple main ones that we work with. Each individual texture is very unique in the fact that we can put a texture on any type of metal. So we're not limited to stainless steel or aluminum. We can do aluminum, carbon, titanium. People in Hawaii, if you're doing very high corrosion environments, we're very much so capable of doing it on duplex stainless steels as well. So very good options when it comes to that. If you are also looking for something on an exterior project too, we have some great solutions with our micro textures. Micro textures is also a rolled in process. So we have some great projects online that you can check out that use our micro textures for exterior. But we can absolutely do our micro textures interior as well. So some benefits with our micro textures are each individual sheet is going to be completely matching panel to panel because it is a rolled on texture. It also creates a hydrophobic surface, so it's in a sense self-cleaning, and it also does a fantastic job with SRI value, so solar reflect index. Great options when it comes to our micro textures. We can also combine our textures to different surfaces. So if you're looking for a particular finish, let's call it a bright finish or more of a duller finish, but you want that linear pattern, we can absolutely put our roll our textures on just about any surface as well. So this left example of the 5HR is slash Santex. Our Santex is an imported product that we have that is very good with column covers, and it does a great job of actually hiding fingerprints. So for projects that you're looking for something on the lower portion where you are going to be attracted to fingerprints and people touching it a lot, if you're looking for that, well, fantastic. We can accomplish our texture still, but add our Santex to it as well. And this goes with just about every single texture that we have and finish as well. We have a fantastic solution of also including our powder coat plus highlights. So the top right-hand corner, which is that white example, we do a lot of work with column covers. So at Rigidized, we don't actually manufacture any column covers ourselves, but we work with the major companies like Gordon, Regulate throughout the US in North America. So the big benefit that we have with our powder coat plus highlight is the fact that we're going to be in an area where it's going to get beat up. With our powder coat and highlight, the benefit that we have from there is if you're looking for this particular panel and it's going to get beat up, it's going to be very difficult. I'm going to wait till it goes by. Hold on.
Snack time.
Just drop the pan. So the powder coat plus highlight is a great solution again when we're going to be high traffic areas, when we're going to get pans thrown at things, and or if you do scratch this material or dent it, it's going to be very difficult to actually remove the paint. And the reason that is because the paint is actually sitting in the valley of our texture. The peak of it is already that brushed material. So a couple of things to note with our powder coat and highlight is that we are capable of doing any type of powder coat system. So we are not specific to any specific type of system. So if you have a very unique system with Sherwin-Williams, PPG, whomever, we can absolutely work with them. If you're looking for a particular pattern where you want to just be one solid color and no highlight, it's absolutely not a problem for us at all.
Oh, perfect.
Well, and wait, can you go back for a sec?
Yep.
I want to show these guys. So these two, this is the very same pattern. This is our 6WL pattern.
I can't see where you're pointing, so you'll have to direct us a little bit by color. Sorry.
Okay, so the blue and the white that are kind of right next to each other with sort of a deeper texture, that's called our 6WL. And the prime side is the bumps up, and the non-prime side is the concave or the bumps down. So you have lots of choices even in the patterns, and these are two just great images of the same pattern with the bumps up and the bumps down. So you can have a completely different look with the same pattern depending on which side you want to work with. So you have that option too.
It's great. Yeah, I'm glad you called that out because I would not, by looking at it, know that they were.
No, you would never know it's the same pattern. So it's good to know.
We also have some fantastic resources when it comes to colored stainless steel. So we've been working with companies overseas right now that are able to import this into Rigidized, where it's going to be much more of an interior project. We don't support any exterior projects with colored stainless steel through the PVD process. But if you are looking for something exterior and colored stainless steel, we can support it through what we call our light interference technology. We have a fantastic option called our walnut, which is a blackened stainless steel. Blackened stainless steel continues to be very, very popular in the design world. And my background actually comes from colored stainless steel. And one of the the biggest concerns that we've always had is it's going to be easy to scratch. With our walnut system, it is not. It is a very difficult and tough surface. And without getting into too much detail, we're basically putting it on a duplex stainless steel, which is a very hard stainless steel. Absolutely still capable of being manufactured and bent, but it is much more difficult to scratch. This also can be placed outside. We do need to get into some details, though, about matchability because there is going to be some fluctuation when it comes to that type of technology, but great options that we have. When we talk about high traffic areas, this is a beautiful example of what we're talking about. So on the left-hand side, that's obviously just an intentional scratch that we had put on. Those scratches are actually going all the way left to right. So it really gives you a good visual idea about how our textures are hiding scratches in high traffic areas. So if you're not necessarily focused on aesthetics, but you want something very durable, we're a fantastic solution for that with our textures. Go ahead, Cindy, we're going to say something.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I mean, it's a perfect example of lower maintenance. We keep talking about that throughout, but it is a big thing to think about. The left side of this deal where you've just got the flat stainless, somebody's either going to have to rework it or replace it. Whereas our material on the right still looks beautiful. It was scratched, but it still looks beautiful. And the same with this smooth column cover and then a textured column cover. I mean, look at the difference there.
These on the right-hand side where it says deep texture durability, this is an LAX actually. So fantastic options again when we talk about durable and high traffic areas. Our textures are fantastic for that. This is that white example that we were showing about earlier when Cindy and I were going back and forth with the colored. So these column covers it's called our Middlesex white is what we have here. So from far away, the design wanted to look like just a solid white color. But up close, you have that kind of two-tone. So visually, it's actually a very appealing look when you are up close to it. But again, the end result for this is long lasting. You're not going to be in a situation where you're constantly having to rework these panels or to have someone come out and fix them. Because if it's a deep texture, we're really adding a lot to that. Here's another example now a different color, same exact texture here. So the George Bush International Airport. Again, another example of us just supplying the flat sheet to manufacturers such as Gordon and Fried Regulate. But at Rigidized, we also have a significant amount of fabrication capabilities as well, all in-house. This is our Sandtex finish that we have. This is a San Diego airport. The lower portion of this project, they wanted it to be more of a more durable product where they were going to have fingerprints constantly being put on it. This is where the Sandtex came into play. So our Sandtex, have a fantastic relationship with this overseas mill for so many years now. So great option. Our Sandtex also does a very good job of kind of enhancing the light surrounding it, either the natural light, such as this, or LED lighting. It does a very, very good job of that.
Love that.
This is going into our textured wall system. So our company has invested a significant amount of money into fabrication. So as you know, as designers and architects, you and I will be working on a project and we specify a particular texture for us. We'll be working on this 6 months from now. We come back and find out that you've specified it, and we're very excited about that. Once it goes out of your hands, it's usually very difficult to kind of track. And that's where Cindy and I come into play. We are very much so trying to find out who the general contractor are, who the subs are, and so on and so forth. So what we've done is we've invested this money into fabrication because we want to be able to make what your specification is stick. And the reason, the way that we've been able to achieve that is by doing a textured wall system. So our textured wall system can be put on any one of our textures. And here's a fantastic example of the Javits Center in New York. So this was our 2FL texture. We supplied this entire panel, the lower panels being a MDF, the upper panels being honeycomb. We also had the design. We also wanted to have a 12-inch reveal over here, and we were able to manufacture all of this in-house. From a cost standpoint, it is a significant savings on your part because we are no longer having to sub this out to multiple fabricators to get done. It will all be done under one roof, which is Rigidized Metals. There's a few things we don't do in-house. One of the most important things being we do not powder coat in-house. We will have to send that out to get powder coated, but everything else in terms of fabrication is all done in-house. This is another project that we have done, and we're able to also supply the corner guards as well. So full-on package when it comes to our fabrication and textured wall system. Another project in New York where we did a lot of support with this particular project with the subway system here. Very, very, very heavy duty panels that they were looking for just because of the particular area. We do not do any type of CAD drawings or detailed drawings, and we do not do any installation. However, we very much so have a lot of partners that we worked with in the past that we can kind of support with each other and are familiar with kind of what our limitations are and expectations are with our material. So we have those resources. Secondly is our textured sound system or acoustic panel systems. We will supply this entire unit right here. So we have a Z-Clip systems and the Johns Manville acoustic panels as well. These textured sound systems have an SRI value of 0.92, which is a fantastic value. We could also paint these as well. We want to get involved at the very beginning when it comes to these textured wall systems because it comes to a point where once we start punching holes and perforating something, depending on the texture, we'll eliminate that texture now. So we want to make sure that we're kind of going in that right direction and saying, you know, it makes no sense to use texture if you can't see it anymore on some particular panel. So get us involved. Make sure that we're kind of in there. We've been around since 1940, so we very much so understand where we're going. And our ultimate goal is to make sure that you're specifying the right product in the right area. We're not here to sit there and be on every single project. We'd love to, but it just doesn't make sense in some cases. Here are also some fantastic examples of what we're able to do with our acoustic panel systems. Very good options here. Oops, there we go. And then this is a project that we had done. It's actually about 2 miles from Buffalo. We fabricated all of these acoustic panel ceilings right here up on top. One thing to note, our textures do a fantastic job of reflecting light and diffusing light throughout the entire environment. So if you look at this ceiling option right here, if you can see the darker areas are where the less light are, the brighter areas are where the light is naturally hitting. So really, really good. Every single one of our textures creates a unique look, and it's something so important when you're asking for samples. Make sure you look at them. Go to the environment that you're doing. If you're going to be in an outside environment, take it outside. Go look at it. We've got some fantastic case studies where we'll have about on our brochure where we have an example of our one texture throughout about 6 different hours throughout the day, and they look completely different, completely different panels. But it's so beautiful, and we do a lot of work with this.
That's a great tip to see that. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And we want to know. We want to know. When we get samples and we follow up with them, why didn't you like them? Is it too is it too bright, too shiny, too dull? We can manipulate that in some ways. And at the end of the day, if it's something that we just can't match, we just can't do it, and that's okay. We're totally okay with that. We just want to make sure you get what you're looking for. At Rigidized, we also have an entire division dedicated to bathroom partitions. We have a very unique capability of doing coil to coil processing in 60-inch wide sheets for the bathroom partition rolled. So very big process that we have here. This gives you another example of kind of some more patterns that we have here. Our W1HM is a very popular pattern, also known as a kind of a hammer tone pattern. This can also, again, as a reminder, be done in any type of product. So we have a lot of projects that we do our 1HM in true copper. So if you're looking for that patina effect and you want that, absolutely, we can support that. I'm working on a major project right now in an exterior where they want that copper look, but they don't want it to patina. So what we're doing is we're working with a Sherwin-Williams paint system to have it visually look like copper with some specular lighting or some like specular lights on it. It's absolutely gorgeous because it's doing a really good job of reflecting off those lights. We have fun project. Yeah, it's amazing. Elevator door and cab interiors. We have another entire division dedicated to this. In short, we do so much work with this because in elevators, weight is king. So when we deep texture something, we're not just putting that visual appearance on it. We're actually adding rigidity, buckle strength, and tensile strength to that particular panel. What that means at the end of the day is if you're looking for something that's going to be, let's say a standard 16 gauge stainless sheet that's 48 by 120, that weighs 100 pounds per sheet. But now since we've added texture to it, we've increased the durability with everything, we now can go from 100 pounds per sheet, which is a 16 gauge, to an 18 gauge sheet, which goes down to 80 pounds per sheet. So we're saving 20 pounds per sheet, which can be a significant savings. Right now, the metal world is incredibly out of control with pricing and availability. So it's a great cost savings when we are talking about elevator cabin interiors as well. Some more information about what we're able to do with the cabs. We also do a fantastic amount of work with artists. We've just finished a project. If you look on our website, Shasti O'Leary is a great artist that we work with. This is a project that we actually manufactured directly with the artist. This is a child's hospital and the design intent was to have these look like DNA strands. So up close, when you go see it, it has that 1HM pattern or that hammer tone pattern. So it's just a beautiful example about how our guys on the floor are absolute artists. We do our fabrication capabilities are just unbelievable. It's so good. So great opportunities here. And here's another example of what we're talking about in different times of the day. This is going to be our custom perforation in the center portion of it. When you look inside that actual triangle, it's actually a mirrored finish. So it looks like a kaleidoscope. So you're really able to get creative with it. That's one of the biggest takeaways that I think Cindy and I would love you to get is just get creative. Our textures are very useful for that. We are here to help in any way that we can. And obviously samples are always available. Let us know what you're working on. We'd love to be able to send some pictures to kind of show you some things. From fabrication standpoint, like I said, you're being able to kind of treat our product just like any standard stainless steel product. So we're more than happy to get any of your fabrication needs going on. So awesome. That is it. Summed it up quickly.
Awesome. That's great. And if you all have any questions, please drop them in. I'll be happy to read them off to the team. I have one myself while they're perhaps typing away, is about the cost difference. Like, is there a difference between the different patterns that you select, or are they relatively the same? What can you look at in terms of like price point?
So so if you're going from one pattern to another pattern, the cost is there's not going to be any price difference in that one pattern versus another. Now, obviously, when it comes to thickness of the material, type of material, yes, that's where there comes to be some cost difference. At Neocon right now, it's obviously a very popular question that we're getting. What type of square footage price can you get? In a normal market condition, our general overall very high level pricing is about $5 a square foot. Currently, right now in this market that we're looking at, we're between $8 to $10 a square foot, just because metal prices are completely outrageous. great part though is, again, we're very, very, very flexible. When you go onto our website though, you're able to get it's so user friendly where you can see what gauge ranges that we have on each particular pattern and what width we have, and you can narrow that down as well. So always give us a call and we can get exactly about $5 a square foot in normal circumstances and about 10 in currently. But yeah, each individual pattern makes no difference to us in terms of pricing.
Awesome. That sounds great. Cool. And it sounds like too, the key is to start talking to you guys early and often, and you guys can be partners. So, and we'll make sure to in the follow up that you'll have Stephen and Cindy's contact information will be included in that. So if you need to reach out, doesn't look like we have any questions that are coming through, but this was awesome. I'm inspired. I hope we get to work. We do our research requests, and a lot of our designers are on. So I'm excited to see what they might come up with. And definitely appreciated meeting you both, and hope you have a safe travels back from NeoCon. I'm sure, if you run into the Source team, tell them hello. So
I'm hoping that we get a project in Hawaii, and I'm going to have to go out to Hawaii. That would
yes. I'm sure that our team here will keep our eyes out. So awesome. Great.
Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back next week, same time, with another snack break. So have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.